Hi there! Welcome back to the vlog! And so for today's video, I'm going to share to you a step-by-step guide to start homeschooling. But this is actually a 3-part series para ma-discuss natin ng mabuti yung mga topics that we have to take to start homeschooling. And so, this is the first part of the series. If you are new to this channel, welcome, and we are homeschooling family who shares our homeschool journey, family activities, and learning materials that you can also use as you do homeschooling. And if you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, mag-subscribe ka na para you will be updated with the videos that we're uploading every Tuesdays and Fridays. Okay, so today is the first part of the 3-part step-by-step guide to start homeschooling series, di ba? Ang haba. So, but as you can see in your screen right now that we have divided this 3-part series into 4 stops or topics. So, today we're going to discuss about whether you decide to be an independent homeschooler or to be enrolled in a homeschool provider. And today also, we will discuss then yung mga learning styles ng mga bata at yung methods na pwede natin gamitin in our homeschooling. The second part of the series will be about curriculum, schedule, and lesson planning. And the third part will be assessment and evaluation. So, I just hope that you're gonna watch the 3-part series kasi sobrang importante nung tatlong topics and interconnected siya sa bawat isa. But before we start with our first part, it is important that we start with our why. Why do we homeschool? Maybe during this season, you decided to do homeschool because of the pandemic. But I would like to encourage you to really dig deeper kung bakit gusto nyong mag-homeschool. Because this goal or this why will be your reminder when everything is in chaos at pag nahihirapan ka ng mag-homeschool or you're losing your sanity, you're losing your patience, you can just stop and go back to your why and be reminded of why you're doing homeschool. So, sit down with your family and talk about it. Pag-usapan nyo, ano ba yung why natin? Ano ba yung goal natin of why we're doing homeschool? Okay, so let's start now with our first topic, which is whether you decide to do homeschooling independently or be enrolled in a homeschool provider. Okay, so what you can see in your screen right now is a roadmap. So this is your step-by-step guide to start homeschooling. So I'm gonna put the link of this roadmap in the description box below so you can save it and print it para magamit mo siya as your guide. So there are 2 routes that you can choose from. So the first one is being an independent homeschooler, and the second one is being enrolled to a homeschool provider. So what is an independent homeschooler? So an independent homeschooler is basically ito yung not enrolled to a homeschool provider. Ibig sabihin, you do everything on your own. So from choosing the curriculum, from lesson planning, from the syllabus, making the syllabus for the whole year, the school year, giving exams, all the materials and activities. If you're deciding to be an independent homeschooler, then go back to your why again. So, kung masagot ngayon ng pagiging independent homeschooler mo, yung why you homeschool, then go for it. Because ang advantage lang din ng being an independent homeschooling is that hindi ka bounded by the curriculum and by the timeline and by activities of your homeschool provider. But make sure lang then that you go to your DepEd office that's near you and ask them their guidelines for independent homeschooling. What about the child's socialization? So, ito yung laging question, di ba? Pagka mag-homeschool ka, whether independent or being enrolled in a homeschool provider, paano ba yung socialization ng mga bata? I like what Cheska Kramer said in one of her interviews. Ang sabi niya is that socialization starts at home. So, kung paano makipag-relate yung bata with her mom and dad or kaya sa kanyang mga siblings and to other people inside the house, that's socialization in itself. But there is also one thing na pwede nyo gawin. This is to look for a support group or community. Madali nang maghanap ngayon ng support group or community because we have the social media. Ang dami-daming mga support group and community in the social media na pwede mong salihan. This support group, ito talaga yung you can meet every week for encouragement and para din matutunan din ng mga bata how to relate to other kids. Now, yung support group also, hindi lang to para sa mga bata, but this is also para sa mga parents. So they will be an encouragement to other parents also and for them also to get encouragement. So that's independent homeschooling. But what about yung route naman ng being enrolled to a homeschool provider? So, yung being enrolled to a homeschool provider, ang advantage nito is that the system is already in place. Ibig sabihin, meron ng system for the grading, and then evaluation, assessment, and meron na ding mga curriculum na sila na yung nagpo-provide. So like yung being independent homeschooler, in choosing a homeschool provider, you go back then to your why. Bakit ka ba nag-homeschool? Now, if this certain homeschool provider will meet the goals that you have set, then probably ito na yung homeschool provider na pwede sa'yo. But you have to consider a lot of things pa din in choosing a homeschool provider. So like for us, because we want to build the character of our children, we'll look for a homeschool provider that is character-based. How about yung socialization ng mga bata when you have a homeschool provider? So some homeschool providers, meron silang mga activities na ginagawa every week para for the child's socialization. So like for us with our provider, we always go to a physical school every Friday para for their campus day. So yung campus day, ang ginagawa dito ay they have school activities, they have programs, they have exams, and they do a lot of activities na for socialization purposes. So that's our first step. So you decide whether you go independent or being enrolled to a homeschool provider. Okay, so for our second step, okay, I'm gonna show you again the roadmap. So for our second step is to know and learn about your child's learning styles, so you would know what method you would use also. So the methods that you're going to use are connected to the learning styles of your child. So what are these learning styles? So from the time that they are young, they learn in different ways. So children learn in different ways. So iba-iba talaga yung way kung paano natututo yung mga bata. And knowing and understanding how the child processes and learn information, that will help you as a parent or as a teacher. And if we don't know their learning styles, chances are kung paano tayo tinuruan at kung paano tayo natuto nung bata tayo, ganun din yung gagawin natin sa kanila without considering their learning styles. And remember, you have to remember that your child's learning style is different from your learning style. So paano ba natin malalaman yung learning styles ng mga bata? Hindi to sobrang overly complicated. There are just few things that you can observe with your child. And we'll cover 3 types of learning styles today. So ito yung visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. So let's start with visual learners. So sino yung mga visual learners? So yung mga visual learners, these are children that learn best when they see it, when they read it, and when they write it. So sobrang love na love nila talaga yung pagbabasa. They love reading, they love nature walk, they love paintings, they love to draw. So ganito yung daughter ko naman. So sobrang visual learner siya. Kailangan meron kaming rim talaga ng bond paper kasi sobrang hilig niya talagang mag-drawing, mag-paint, and she loves also nature walks. So pagka nasa labas kami, nagre-reflect talaga siya with what she sees about the environment, what she sees about the surrounding. So these are visual learners. So these are the things that you have to consider when you have a visual learner na anak. So you have to be careful then with your facial expressions. So kasi they process your smiles or your frowning. So they also learn best when the environment is neat and tidy. So mas makakapag-concentrate sila pag maayos, malinis yung environment nila. So, sino naman yung mga auditory learners? So, yung mga auditory learners, they learn best when they hear the information. So, they love music, they love reading aloud, and they love to listen to stories. And the things naman that you have to consider when you have an auditory learner is that the backgrounds of the environment. So, sobrang nadi-distract sila when there's music, when there's noise, and then also that one thing that you have to consider is the tone of your voice. So, sobrang sensitive sila when it comes to the tone of your voice. So, like for example, pag magbabasa ka ng isang story, so hindi lang siya yung do you see that? Do you see this? Kundi, wow, this flower is so beautiful. Do you see that? Wow, the sun is shining so brightly. Yung mga ganon. Sobrang sensitive nila sa tone ng voice mo. So, my son is like this. Kaya, pag nagbabasa kami ng story, sobrang expressive talaga ng tono ng boses ko. So, yun yung mga auditory learners. So, sino naman yung mga kinesthetic learners? So, yung mga kinesthetic learners, they need hands-on experience to perform at their best. So, sobrang natututo sila pagka mayroong mga physical movements. Actually, they enjoy action songs, they enjoy physical education, they enjoy sports, kasi nga, ito yung mga physical movements. And then, yung mga things that you have to consider naman when you have a kinesthetic learner. So, sometimes, akala mo, hindi sila nakikinig sa'yo when you're teaching them kasi ikot sila ng ikot sa classroom. So, they learn actually when they move and when they touch things. So, example dito yung anak ko. He's also a kinesthetic learner. So, what we're doing is, like, for example, we are teaching him shape. So, we're gonna ask him, okay, let's roam around the room and then let's look for things na bilog siya or shape niya ay circle. Okay, can you find things that are circle? And then, ang gagawin niya ay mag-roam around siya sa buong room o sa buong bahay at maghahanap siya ng mga bagay na ang shape ay circle. So, ito yung mga kinesthetic learners. So, there you go. So, i-observe nyo lang yung anak nyo kung ano category siya magfo-fall into. But sometimes, hindi lang siya mag-fit into one category. Pwede rin siyang combination ng dalawa or kaya pwede siyang combination ng tatlo. Like yung mga anak ko, sobrang combination talaga sila when it comes to the learning styles. So, after mong malaman yung learning styles ng anak mo, it's now for you to decide kung ano naman yung method na gagamitin mo in teaching your child. So, maraming mga methods na makikita ka sa internet. Hanapin mo lang teaching methods and mahaba yung list ng mga methods na pwede mong gamitin. But for now, I'm just gonna share to you these methods that I bumped into when we're deciding kung ano yung gagamitin namin in our homeschooling. So, first is the Montessori Method. So, with Montessori Method, this is a method that is based on self-directed activity and hands-on learning. So, with this method, children make creative choices in their learning, and the parents or teachers offer age-appropriate activities to guide the process. So, with Montessori Method, meron silang mga child-size real-life toys. So, ibig sabihin, like for example, kasi meron silang life skills na tinatawag. So, tinuturuan na yung bata dito kung paano mag-alaga ng halaman. So, meron silang maliit na watering can, tapos may maliit sila na plant, and then, tinuturuan na din sila kung paano maglinis ng sapatos. So, meron silang maliit na brush para gamitan para paglinis ng kanilang sapatos. And mag-sweep ng floor. So, meron lang din silang maliit na broom at saka na dustpan para gamitin nila sa pag-sweep ng floor. So, these are life skills na part din ng Montessori Method. And meron din naman silang ginagamit ng mga wooden toys. So, like for example, yung mga wooden shape sorters or mga wooden building blocks. So, and then yung mga ibang manipulatives then na ginagamit. So, these are the things na ginagamit in the Montessori Method. Next is yung Charlotte Mason Method. So, yung Charlotte Mason Method, this is a method that is characterized by an emphasis on real-life learning situations, nature study, and play, and living books. So, these books are books that make the subjects come alive. So, hindi lang siya yung simpleng mga storybooks, pero ito yung mga books na sobrang ma-engage talaga yung mga bata when you read it to them. So, yung some key elements in this approach ay yung narration and writing. Ito, sobrang favorite ko to kasi I would love to know kung ano yung iniisip ng mga anak ko. So, like for example, when it comes to our nature walk, so sabihin ko lang, ano sa tingin nyo, bakit ganito yung environment nito, ano sa tingin nyo, or kaya with the painting, so ano sa tingin nyo, what do you think about the painting, ano sa tingin nyo yung nararamdaman nung painter when they painted the painting. So yun yung narration, and favorite ko yun kasi I would love to know kung ano yung iniisip at kung ano yung nararamdaman ng anak ko. Okay, next is yung traditional method. So yung traditional method, ito yung school at home. So the parents try to mirror lang what's happening in the classroom setup, so or classroom experience. So parang dinadala lang niya yung classroom sa bahay nila. So when you're using the traditional method, probably you just want to stay in the system kasi pwedeng next year gusto mo nang dalhin sa regular school yung anak mo. So, para hindi na siya mag-adjust masyado, you can use this traditional method. So, ito na yung magsasagot ng mga textbooks, magbabasa ng mga textbooks, tapos magkakaroon kayo ng mga exams. So, yung usual na ginagawa sa regular classroom setup, iyon yung ginagawa mo din sa homeschool. So, yun yung traditional method. Okay, and the last thing is yung eclectic. So, yung eclectic method ay ito yung combination ng mga binanggit ko. So, pwedeng combination ng dalawa o tatlo o lahat ng mga methods na binanggit ko or yung iba pang mga methods. So, ito yung eclectic. So, like for us, kasi I have 3 kids, and then yung tatlong bata na to ay meron silang 3 different learning styles na combination pa ng mga learning styles. And so, para lang matouch namin lahat ng mga learning styles nila, we do eclectic. So, sometimes, like for example, sa math, we do Montessori kasi we use manipulatives. Or we use building blocks, for example, or yung wooden shaped sorters like that. So we use Montessori. With our English and literature, we use Charlotte Mason, or especially in Araling Panlipunan. So ginagamit namin yung Charlotte Mason method kasi we just go outside for a nature walk and then try to see ano ba talaga yung nangyayari sa bansa natin, sa community natin. Kasi yun yung Araling Panlipunan. And then, yung traditional, so when we do traditional when it comes to our test taking, kasi we are enrolled in a homeschool provider, so para lang magstay kami in the system and hindi mag-adjust yung mga bata masyado, we use traditional when taking exams, with assessment and evaluation. So, yun yung eclectic method na tinatawag. So, there are a lot of methods pa na pwede nyong pag-aralan, pwede nyong i-assess, at upuan nyo ng family mo kung ano yung method na maganda for your homeschooling. So, yun yung mga methods that we bumped into when we are deciding to homeschool our children. And so before I end this video, let me just remind you that yes, we want the best for our children, but it's important then that we see the design and the purpose that God has for them. So God has deposited a lot of giftings, a lot of talents, a lot of skills in our children. And so ito dapat yung unang-una nating nilulook for or tinitingnan. Ano ba yung purpose ni God para sa anak ko? Ano ba yung plano ni God para sa anak ko? Before considering all these things na mga sinabi ko. Alright, so that's the first part of our 3-part step-by-step guide to start homeschooling series. So next week will be our second part, and the following week will be our third part. We just hope that you're gonna watch out for that and you're gonna stay up until the third part of the series. So thank you very much for watching. God bless everyone, and bye! See you next time!